What's up, everybody? How's it going? This is Luke. One take Luke. Gonna do this in one take. Not gonna edit it. It's gonna be boom on the camera, phone, boom on YouTube, all those good stuff, the good things, whatever. I want to talk about quickly. My eyes, man, my eyes hurt. I have very sensitive eyes. Sorry, guys. Anyways, want to quickly talk about what I'm gonna do about the Canon R3. And spoiler alert, not gonna get one. Why am I not gonna get one? Well, because I shoot with the R5 and also the R6. Had them for right at a year now, and the focusing systems, out-of-tech autofocus systems associated with portraiture, associated with just like weddings, any kind of work you could imagine that you're going to need to photograph a subject, a person. These systems are phenomenal, and they're priced right. I mean, you get the Canon R6, what is it, $2,800? Canon R5 for another grand at $3,800, nearly $4,000 after taxes USD. These systems are fantastic. What I have learned from shooting both RF and EF glass is that if you're going to invest into RF glass, make sure you get L glass, which is their red ring thing. If you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. So there's an 85 millimeter 1.2 RF that I've been using, and it stays on my camera 100% of the time. I never take it off. It stays on my camera all of the time, and I get shots that I'm just, very pleased with. However, when I switch from that RF 1.2 to the 85 RF f2 with the STM motor, it's loud, it's noisy, it's always hunting. You can tell that it's a $600 lens as opposed to a $3,000 lens. That's just what's up. Color rendition and things of that nature. I mean, great, it's wonderful, but you can really see why that $3,000 lens shines opposed to the $600 lens. But if you can only afford the $600 85 f2, then get that lens. But if you can have it, if you can have the 85 1.2, if you can afford it, then afford it. Max a credit card, whatever it takes, get that lens. It will definitely pay for itself in enough time. It's just what's up. So the R3, it's for me to really get on board with the R3, it's going to have features that blow me away, that make the R6 and the R5 just dwarf in the shadows. I can't justify buying another RF or another R system when all I have is two pieces of RF glass, the 85 f2 and also the 85 1.2. And I have the 85 f2 because of the macro function. It produces fantastic macro shots, and that's that. So with I have every EF lens that's an L glass up to the 200 millimeter f2, and they're great lenses still. They produce amazing photos. But once you shot with the RF glass, specifically the 1.2 85, it's night and day. I mean, if you were to put up the Canon 50 millimeter 1.2 against the Canon 50 millimeter 1.2 RF, the EF and the RF compare, the 50 1.2 EF is going to have chromatic aberration, color fringing, all of those things shooting into the sun, and the 50 millimeter 1.2 RF is not. It's going to be clean. It's a fantastic piece of glass. You will get spoiled rotten if you shoot with RF glass and have to go back to EF glass. It's crazy. I was at a wedding recently where my wife had the 135 EF f2, and I think you can get that lens right now for $600 or $700. I don't know. And I adapted that lens onto my R5, going from the 85 1.2. Going from the 85 1.2 to the 135 f2 is like going from a Cadillac to a Volkswagen Bug. It's just not, it's rough. It's pretty difficult. So what's the purpose of this video today? The purpose of this video is to say, if you have the R system, if you're shooting with the R5, you're shooting with the R6, the R3 must have credentials that are going to blow those two cameras out of the water. I don't know all of the credentials yet. I know that there's a really cool autofocus system that's going to be on the R3 that you may want to consider, where the eye moves and you make where it goes. Sure, no problem. But yeah, You've heard it here from me. I will not be getting the R3. Going to stay with the R5 and the R6. Going to invest into more RF glass because I think that's where it's at. RF glass is legendary. It is, oh my goodness. I don't know of another camera system that has glass that will even come anywhere close to competing with RF glass. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. So get the glass if you've got the camera. Do not replace an R6 or an R5 with the R3 unless you're rolling in the dough and you have 1,000 sponsors and you're like Vanessa Joy. I guess you have access to expensive cameras and you're given these things to work with. Sure, that's great, go for it. But if you're just a regular old Joe like me, I would say get the glass if you've got the money, but more importantly, if you've already got an R system you're shooting with. All right, have a good day, God bless. See you soon.